Story. Once upon a time, in the heart of a small, peaceful village in Owerri, two young girls, Rita and Patience, were inseparable. They were so close that people often said they were like twins. When you found one, you would definitely find the other. But beneath their friendship, something evil festered, a quiet storm of jealousy that no one could see, not even Rita herself. Rita had a warm and lively personality, one that naturally drew people to like her, like bees to honey. She was like the sun, her presence always brought light. Patience, on the other hand, was the more intelligent of the two. She always topped their class, consistently outperforming Rita, from primary school days to secondary school. Yet, it was Rita that captured everyone's heart. This stung Patience deeply. She couldn't understand why. She often thought to herself, why? Why does everyone love her more than me? Am I not good enough? This feeling of being outshined, no matter how clever she was, haunted her. Her intelligence was always overshadowed by Rita. It didn't take long before Patience started to feel something stir inside her. At first, it was a small tinge of jealousy, but that jealousy slowly turned into anger, and as they grew older, anger twisted into something darker. They both graduated from secondary school and got admission into the same university. Rita was so happy. She saw it as another chapter to continue their beautiful friendship. She couldn't contain her excitement. She ran straight to Patience's house to share the good news, her face beaming with joy as she burst into the room. "We made it! We're really going to the same university," Rita said, practically jumping up and down. But as Rita celebrated, Patience felt a wave of bitterness. To her, this wasn't a celebration. It was just another reminder of Rita always being in her space. When Rita left, she muttered under her breath, So this fool can't even leave me alone. Now she wants to follow me to the same university. Thank God we won't be in the same department. She better not come there and try to spoil my life with her juju. I won't let her. Rubbish. Their parents decided that the two friends should live together on campus. Patience, of course, was not happy, but she hid her feelings behind a smile and pretended everything was fine. At first, life on campus was peaceful. Rita, as usual, was cheerful and full of life. She had no idea about the hatred brewing in Patience's heart. Slowly but surely, Patience began to reveal her true self. It was now that time of the year when the school hosted their annual beauty contest. It was a tradition for every department to choose their most beautiful girls for the pageant. Unbeknownst to Rita and Patience, they were chosen to represent their respective departments. Rita came home bursting with excitement. "Patience, guess what? They picked me for the contest." But Patience's face darkened. "I'm not in the mood for this," she snapped, walking past Rita. Rita didn't think much of Patience's reaction. She was used to her mood swings. That night, while Rita slept peacefully, Patience was wide awake, boiling with anger. Look at her sleeping like the devil is not in her. Why must it be her? Her witchcraft is really working, and she will use it to deceive everyone to win. I will show her she's not better than me. Patience whispered to herself. Rita's happiness became an insult to her pain. Indeed, jealousy is like fire. It feeds on itself, and in Patience's mind, the flames were growing hotter. Determined to win, Patience worked hard to prepare herself for the contest. She avoided Rita as much as possible and poured all her energy into the competition. But despite her efforts, Rita won, leaving Patience as the first runner-up. The audience cheered and clapped for Rita. Patience forced a smile, but inside, her jealousy burned like fire. After the contest, Rita became the talk of the campus. Her face was on posters everywhere, and students couldn't stop praising her. This only made Patience more bitter. She couldn't bear it anymore. One day, she decided to strike back. She began spreading false rumors. Have you heard? Rita had an abortion, she whispered to a notorious gossip. She even slept with one of the judges to win. The rumor spread like wildfire, and soon people turned against Rita. She faced mockery and isolation, but instead of breaking, Rita's resilience shone brighter. Just as things seemed to spiral out of control, the contest organizers held a press conference to clear the air. They praised Rita's honesty and revealed that the rumors were false. They awarded her a prize, acknowledging her integrity and resilience. The press conference was streamed live on social media, and within hours, the truth spread across campus. Rather than destroying Rita's reputation, the rumors only made her more popular. People praised her for her strength and apologized for believing the lies. Patience's plan had backfired. No matter what she did, Rita remained well loved, her light shining brighter than ever. Frustrated and bitter, Patience's envy led her down a dangerous path. She decided to take things further. Nothing could stop her from bringing Rita down. She approached some dangerous cult boys on campus, convincing them to harm Rita. I know you asked Rita out and she rejected you because she thinks you're too low for her, she said to Joseph, the cult leader. I know you want to have a taste of her. I can help you show her who's the boss. She's been walking around thinking she's so perfect, but I want to show her that she's not. One fateful evening, Patience stole Rita's inhaler. This was her plan. If Rita couldn't find it, she would panic and run outside. And just as Patience expected, Rita rushed out, short of breath, searching for her inhaler late at night. The fading light crept around her, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers, trying to grab her. Rita's heart raced as she hurried through the streets, only to be stopped by a hand on her shoulder. She froze. The voice that followed sent shivers down her spine. Don't move, just follow us gently. Rita's eyes widened in terror. Her gaze darted to the glint of metal in the guy's pocket, and her blood ran cold. Her body froze, but her legs moved on their own. She didn't hesitate to follow them into the darkness, paralyzed by the fear that gripped her. As they led her deeper, she strained to see their faces, hidden by light ski marks, but her mind couldn't focus. Suddenly, one of them covered her mouth, gagging her before she could scream. The world around her blurred as she was tied up and her body went limp. The attack left Rita unconscious, and she was found the next morning by a fellow student. The news spread all over the school and beyond, and instead of mocking her, the school community rallied around her, offering comfort and support. Rita, though, felt a deep sense of shame. It was as if something inside her died that night. She no longer felt safe and wanted to quit school. But when students heard about it, the news spread even further. It went viral, making her more famous than ever. Schools from across the nation began offering her scholarships, and soon she was preparing to study abroad. Unaware of Patience's role in the attack, Rita shared her excitement about her scholarship with the one person she thought she could trust. But Patience's envy only grew as she plotted again. This time, she poisoned Rita's food, hoping it would send her to her grave. But fate had other plans. Rita's mother called her and told her about a dream she had had, warning her of danger. She advised Rita not to eat any cooked food made by anyone while she was still in school. Rita heeded her mother's warning and unknowingly avoided the poisoned food. Patience's rage grew as she watched Rita carefully dodge the trap. Not one to give up, Patience tried again. This time, she tried to force Rita to eat it immediately, threatening that if she didn't, she would throw the food away and never cook for her again. Rita thought of her mother's warning, and though she didn't understand why, she trusted it. Sometimes, a mother's instincts are sharper than a blade. She refused to eat, despite Patience's threats. Suspicious of Patient's behavior, Rita confronted her. The argument escalated and their neighbors stepped in to calm things down. In the heat of the moment, Patient's behavior became so obvious that everyone started paying attention. The neighbors pressed her until she finally broke down and confessed. Okay, please, I will talk. I poisoned the food. I wanted her dead. Patience screamed as tears streamed down her face. She turned to Rita. You were always perfect. Everyone preferred you to me. I hated it. I hated you for that. Your presence made me feel so invincible, and I just wanted you gone. Rita asked, her voice shaking. So it was you all this while? I trusted you and told you everything. You are a very wicked soul. The neighbors, shocked and disgusted, called the authorities and Patience was taken away. Patience's parents, upon receiving the news, were devastated. They apologized to Rita's family and promised to ensure that Patience paid for her crimes. Patience was arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including attempted murder. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison, where she faced the consequences of her actions. Her accomplices were never found. Rita, though heartbroken by the betrayal, eventually started over in a new school in New York City, trying to rebuild her life. The semester came to an end, and Patience was supposed to be awarded and celebrated as the overall best student in 100 level. But her name was cancelled from the school. And so, the story of Rita and Patience ended a tale of jealousy, betrayal, and consequences. This story reminds us that envy is a seed that, if watered, can grow into destruction, not only for others, but ourselves. If only Patience had let go of her hatred, she could have had a bright future instead of a dark prison cell. Now that you've heard the story of Patience and Rita, what do you think Patience could have done differently? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting stories. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on new stories. Let's keep the conversation going. What's your favorite part of the story?